Hello, Lifeguardians. This is Gavin Babalal, the Director of Solution Engineering and Product Development here at Lifeguard Solutions, bringing to you another edition of How Easy Can It Be on the Lifeguard Solution platform. Today, we're going to be looking at our Notice of Violation application and what we can do to ensure that if for some unknown reason the organization is fined or is identified as being out of compliance with specific regulations, how do we essentially handle that? How do we have all the information documented within the system itself, and how we can ensure that this issue doesn't happen again. So with that being said, a little bit of an agenda here. We have a little bit of a notice of violation overview. So we're going to take a look at the associated workflow. Once we do that, we're going to hop right into the application and take a look and see exactly what that looks like. So with the application presentation or the overview at this point, again, the thought process here is at some point, unfortunately, the organization has been identified as being out of compliance with some level of specific regulation or publication. So with that notice of violation, again, you have an individual identification or the ability of identifying all the specific information around the violation itself. So the location, who's our health and safety or environmental representative, all the core information for that specific area itself. Then we can get into pulling that information into that notice administration area. Then we get into the notice details. So this can include things such as the specific regulations or publications, all the way down to your clause information, description of that level of detail. But once we get that information, we get into the specific fine information that you would be looking at. So again, if there are associated fines with this violation, what does that look like from the original fine amount all the way down to mitigation of that specific information as well? A little bit further down, we get into investigations. So how do we identify what the actual root cause was? So we have the ability of going through, identifying root cause information, and identifying the specific corrective and preventive actions to ensure that it never happens again. But finally, at this point, we get into that closure stage so we can identify all of the associated information, have a look at the entire notice as a whole, and be able to understand the metrics around it. So team, with that being said, we're going to hop live into the application so you can take a look as to how we actually collate this information. So team, at this point, you can see my lovely dashboard that I've come and logged into. As mentioned previously on my individual videos, any individual application can have its specific homepage showing the individual metrics that are important to you for that specific application itself. So what we're actually seeing here is all the individual metrics that I may be looking at. So maybe I want to take a look at fine information based on my specific locations, what the original fine amount was, what the mitigated amounts are, and so forth. Understanding, well, again, which locations are being fined the most and which specific individual publications that we are being found of violation of. With that being said, again, high-level information, key identification here is the specific KPIs and metrics that you're looking for can be easily shown in a variety of different ways on a specific individual landing page. Just going to hop over into an existing notice of violation. So what we can see here are all of my existing notices at this point. We can see the individual stages that they're currently in. At this point, I'm going to go through and open up one of my individual fines here, or my individual investigations. So team, what we're actually seeing here in this individual record is all the pertinent information for this violation itself. Notice on the very top, we have an identified workflow at this point that is completely definable by the organization without any issue. In terms of the notice administration, all the information associated to my specific location and who I'm issuing this information to, getting down into the notice details, so which specific publication or regulatory body or information has been violated itself, full description of the actual information, getting down and starting to understand exactly what my fine details are. So what the original fine amount is, if I do have a mitigation plan in place, what that mitigated amount may end up being. But if we do have a mitigation plan, again, we can come down a little further here and we can start to see those individual action plans being created and actioned at this point. We can go through, conduct specific investigations, and we can see the result of which are my root cause identifiers here, whether they're related or primary, and I can issue my corrective actions without any issue based on that root cause analysis. So team, quick and easy understanding of our notice of violation. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to have those answered for you. But again, wanted to take the team through and make sure that everyone had a good understanding of what the notice of violation application looks like. Should you have any questions, please feel free to reach out either to myself or anyone on the team. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.